background, my grandfather got me into this. He was alive during the Great Depression. Believe it or not, furs are what kept his family alive back in the day. And when I was, I think maybe 14, 15 years old, he came up to me and said, "Tell you what," said, "take you out, get you one of everything. You're on your own." I was like, "Let's go, Grandpa." And the only thing we didn't get a coyote. We got everything else. That was the only thing we didn't get. We tried all the water stuff and did everything like that. So growing up, I did a lot of water trapping through school, some land trapping later on. Got married, had kids, started bow hunting, got out of this a little bit, got back into it probably about 10 years and really kind of just went hard on learning coyotes. And all of you guys, you've heard all the people who are professionals so far. Me, I'm a hobby guy. I just work makes it be a hobby. But I try to figure out a way to streamline a little process that has become very effective. Picking up both cats, fox, and a fair amount of cats. And so, it kind of basically, you guys are all familiar with kind of the Zagger set? Mark Zagger set at all? You ever seen it? The pipe set? They call it Pipe Dream. I've seen Pipe Dream sets are everything. They're different kind of ways, but Zagger uses a square trap. That's one of the reasons why I like these. They got a square jaw on. I'm not going to be able to show you the most wonderful trick about compacting out traps here because of the kind of dirt that's in here. But these come back to a fairly nice, solid square jaw. He's got full square. The traps that he uses are actually a full square, and he doesn't have big levers like this. He just spring levers. So that's kind of what he does with that. And then he uses, this is all his idea. He's in the electrical business. 8-9 inch piece of gray. Don't use white. Sun will beat it up. Use gray pipe, and you can drive these in, pull them out the whole time, and just cut them into 8-9 inches and use these. Some guys leave these things clear out of the ground like that. Some guys take them clear down and just do that. I usually leave about an inch or two out, and then that way when they're baited, it's hidden in the grass. Reason I went to something like this, if you want to know the truth, two reasons. One of the guys that gave a demo earlier this morning, he was talking about trying to find some dry dirt. I don't worry about dry dirt. When you're doing this, I don't worry about it at all. I don't worry about any kind of dirt, other than the fact you can't back it. But so that is one thing I could never make. I was never good enough to make good waxed dirt, so I just kind of got away from the idea, And the other reason I'm just looking for something quick because, like I said, I don't have a lot of time with work and so on and so forth. I'll give you just a little quick story about that, just to tell you kind of how life works sometimes. Park the truck next to where I make a set, right? And I'm on a conference call at work making a set. I've got my deal shut off and everything like that. Very next morning, caught a coyote in that set, and I learned so much from that. That's been some time ago. Because where that coyote was caught, we got about an inch of snow, and this is really cool to see. It was in a bean field, and every single little chunk of beanstalk that stood up higher in about a 25-30 yard radius had pee on it. Tracks all around that coyote I'd caught. Great big circle like they had a little dance around him or something, and everything that was a little bit higher, they peed on. So that was just kind of a neat thing, kind of know, maybe I should have set 2 traps there. I should have done that, and I just didn't. So just kind of neat to know that kind of goes on. That stuff goes on, when you do that. But so getting into the set, I'm assuming nobody else is coming. So
no, you said go ahead.
You said go ahead. Okay, so like I said, pretend that my WeatherTech floor mat is a chunk of 36 by 36 rubber. I just always like to lay it down, number one, that way my knees don't go into the ground and stink. I don't really worry about that much, but it's just one little thing we can do. And you'll see as I get going, I put dirt on here. Whatever dirt comes out of there, I want to get rid of. We're not going to use it in making the hole. One other thing I was going to say, I had a year, especially a year like this year, where the fall was warm. And I don't know about you guys, but it seems like falls that are warm, coyotes won't go in a dirt hole for nothing. Right? And that's all I was running, was a dirt hole and a few flat sets every now and then, a pea post, type thing. And I'm like, man, what is going on? Of course, it's the warmth. They got all they want to eat. There's no drive to fill the gut. And so I did something where, this set here, it's meant to be done in grass. Like I said, where I trap, it's all farm, basically farm fence lines, or what's left of them in grass, waterways. So it's mostly all grass deals, especially along the CRP deal. So I come in, I like to find a nice big old clump. That's what I kind of grabbed that grass right there. You guys may want to end up either here or here once you get going. I know I'm going to be in the way quite a bit. Like I said, I don't wear gloves, but I will tell you, I did start wearing them recently. It has nothing to do with trapping. It has to do with poison ivy I got in my hands, got all over my face and top half of my body when I was trapping a few years back. My face swelled up and everything like that. So most of the time I try to put on gloves if I'm in some iffy stuff. So I'll come up here and I'll find a spot like this. Obviously this is a good area. One thing I really like about this is not going to be anything a coyote's ever going to see. This is what I think, for me anyway, has worked really well, is make a coyote find you. Make him work to find you. Instead of seeing that hole, because I've seen 1,000 holes, you know, or if he's seen a big rock, I've seen that rock 15 times. You know, make him find that smell. That's kind of what I like about this. So come in and kind of get the stuff out of the way here. Probably gonna end up with a pipe right here. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and, it's a neat little thing, this neat little cookie cutter. If you watch Zagger do this, he does it with his hammer. He's an artist. He does it right every time. I'm not that good. This is a pretty sweet little tool. Just take this, start beating it down in the dirt here, like this. I don't know if you guys have ever used these or not, but they're awesome. Now, up home, a lot of the times, that'll come out when I try to pull it out. I'm gonna, as much sand as in this stuff, it's gonna break. Try to grab it and pull dirt over here. Might look like a failure, but it's not, I promise. We'll get right back in here and I'll do it again. So I cut the outline out.
You just taking it down level to the top of the dirt there?
Right now, yeah, the depth of that thing is the depth your trap needs to be. If I get it too low, I don't even care. With a number 3 that I use, got enough jaw to come up and get them. I don't ever toe pinch. So I've been pretty fortunate that way.
Wait till this year.
Yeah, now that I've said it, right? I have had a few come up missing that I know dang well wasn't me, but. So one of the things he talks about, and I'll just say it because he says it too, I'm gonna leave that like that. This set is meant to be mostly waterproof, mostly weatherproof. And that's why I really, really like it too. So I'll go ahead where my chain and everything else can go. I'm not gonna drive it in today, but I'll just get a good old hole like that. Pull it out. And basically his deal, his trap sets on levers. That's his goal. He wants his trap to set on levers. This way when we get rain, that water is not gonna sit where my trap is most of the time. It's gonna go down that hole and it's gonna be completely out of the way, okay? So pretend I drove the stick. These can be a bear to set. I like them because they are also night latched. It's just pretty level. Yes, I have caught myself. No, it's not any fun. So there you go. That's sitting down in there. One of the things that I love about this, when I got the right dirt, this is a little loose, like I said. Obviously, we don't want the trap to move. Back from the trap, much as you can. This is your trap stabilization right here. And move, right? I just moved it with the chain, so I'll have to tighten it here. Shouldn't move. Nope. Then I'll either take a little stick. There's one handy here. Gotta clean that off a little bit. Still got the hole open underneath there. Secret to success. Feel. Picked these up from Kendall Obermeyer. Is that his name?
Yep.
No
BS.
Yeah, no BS. Up there. Up in Allison. Yep. So carry these with me. Cut corners. That way they don't come up on you. That just sits right in there nicely over the top. Okay, we pre-cut some grass here. Two things you can do with this. You guys ever collect your own grass? At all? Yeah. If you have, I learned this a long time ago, but if you have lawn clippings and stuff like that, just get them, and you can't leave them in the yard. You got to scoop them up, put them on a tarp, let them dry. Do it on a non-windy day. Let the sun bake them up, and you get all the grass clippings you need. Unless you know somebody has haylage. Done that too. Haylage is awesome. You can get bags of it, then you're in good shape. So this set right here is pretty much almost ready to go. So I'll just come in here. You guys are gonna laugh at me because there's a silver trap underneath there, right? Never once has affected anything I've ever done. If you ever listen to Zyger talk about this set when he does it, you don't want that thing buried in grass. What you do want, obviously, this is down in a little bit, like I said, because of the, but even that's not going to hurt anything. I've set traps like this many times, still caught coyotes in them. Obviously, you don't want that trap hole there. You know, just grab your grass, especially if you bring your own grass in, like that guy earlier, the Bobcat guy. Orange, he had pink, but otherwise I've left a lot of these behind over the years. But yeah, I mean that's gonna be it. I wish the clump of grass was better, and I could also take this and just kind of, you know, do that with it too, just to kind of. But you can see it's green. You can even see a little bit of that silver, a little bit of that rust. Doesn't matter a thing. Doesn't matter a thing. Somehow or another, they don't pay attention to any of that. Now, you take that pipe and. Usually, if I can, I'll go in behind and drive it, but for today's sake.
Can you use the chlorophyll or whatever they call that stuff to just put it under the pan and then just put everything on top of that? Yeah?
You can do that. The one reason that he doesn't do that is that it becomes a non-weatherproof set. That gets wet, freezes. This way, the water gets down below it. It goes out of that, down into that little cup we made down the bottom. And if it's a freezing deal, if you guys ever want to see what he does, there's a guy that's a bow hunter. His name is Randy Birdsong. I'm trying to think of his name. His hunting business name. I can't think of it. Anyway, if you look up Birdsong and Zyger in, let's see, Illinois, I think is where they were. They just got like 8 or 10 inches of snow. They got the truck stuck. They're outside traps. And the other guy tried to do it with all the old methods. Zyger's out there with a pipe and just blowing this dude away with his catches. So he's coming out there, you got dirt all over, you know, on the snow, you ain't care. Explode it. That's eye appeal. You get dirt all over the place in the snow, just do it. Notice now I don't have a lot of dirt left over, you know, on this deal. I kind of wish I'd cut up a little more grass and cover this up a little better in a bigger circle, to be honest with you, when I was done. But that's kind of the end result here. I'll show you another thing you can use besides this too, if you want to have a little bit of fun. One of those right foot guys, or center, it don't really matter. Don't really ever do left foot. Get that down, that's about 1 or 2 inches above the ground, right? So I'll tell you guys, and this isn't a secret, like the other fella had. That stuff is awesome. Slim's Getter. Anything that's got, and this isn't meant to be food-based, but there's food value in it. There's also call value in it. It's a lure. Anything that's got food value in it, okay? Because when I put that in that pipe, 2 things. It is somewhat weather covered, because even if water gets in there, that's still there, and all the oils and everything like that that are in this, you'll still smell it. The other thing is, it's above ground. So if you dig a dirt hole, right, your bait's what, 6 inches, 8 inches in the ground? That's above ground. So that scent cone is going to carry a lot further than if you'd put it down inside a dirt hole. So basically that's there. I don't worry if I 100% hit the hole. I never go over the trap to put my bait in, either from the side or from the back. I'll just pour it in right there, just like that. That coyote's coming hunting with his nose. That's what he's going to come looking for. And he smells that, that's what's going to be on his brain. He's not staring at a hole, not staring at a rock. He comes up to that hole. You think about this, you know, you come up to a dirt hole, what happens? You ever seen a dog go up to a hole or something that hasn't been in your yard? He's like, you know, scared, he'll back up, does all kinds of things. This, they're coming looking for what you got for the smell. They're not scared like your dog would be. Like for example, if I get an Amazon package at home, my dog will go out to go to the bathroom. Whoa! You know, what's that? You know, something showed up. You know, and that's exactly what a coyote will do when that comes around. So yeah, like I said, I would go ahead and grab this to be done here. I'll grab this. Just get the dirt back out of the way. I'm gonna fill that back in.
Oh, you can leave it.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna put a trap there.
Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, I would take.
I thought you put the trap over there.
I would just take some more of this grass, and obviously, I got a pattern here. You know where my knees were. Just make this look real. You know. Just make that look like nothing was ever there. He comes to find that, you're gonna have him.
Now you said steel. Aluminum won't work on the screen.
No, it's not rigid enough. You can try it. I'm a screen fan or a steel fan. I bought aluminum. It's very flimsy. That steel stuff is.
The steel makes more of a wider pin. It's so firm. The
Yeah.
aluminum's gonna fall off.
It does. That's true.
Especially with the trap hanging off of the levers like that. You need that extra. I would think.
On this trap, these are 6x6s. Careful, they're a little sharp on the edge. But they're 6x6s for this trap. He makes 5x5s for the smaller ones too.
Yeah. The junior ones are what I get.
Yep, junior, and or if you use a number 2, if you're a guy that uses a number 2, you know. These are square jaws I'm using, so that's.
Do you ever bring in your own grass clumps?
Yeah, not clumps. I've never tried the clumps.
Try to bring.
Own grass, yes.
Okay.
Like I said, where I'm at, we got clumps. You know, we've got them in the draws, we've got them in the everything, all over. I kind of look, to be honest with you, I look for something that stands out. You know, a clump that stands out. I'll actually, on my place, I actually mow for the clump.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you got a corner and there's a big clump of grass there, I make sure my mower misses it when I'm doing it. And I'll use it. I caught, one morning I had 3 coyotes in about 150 yards all together on the edge of the CRP in those clumps. And I know you're a Bobcat guy. If I remember right, you get Bobcats, right? That catches the heck out of Bobcats too. I'm in Dallas County, Iowa, which is north and west of Des Moines where I'm at. We don't have a ton of Bobcats. Without trying to catch Bobcats, I caught 5 of them.
Are you guys legal down there yet?
Yeah, we're legal for 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Just south of the interstate down in Madison County, we're legal for 3. I wish they would allow us 3, to be honest with you.
I think I would just give it like Missouri.
They're getting thick. There's no question. But nobody reports them to the DNR. You know, we don't have enough trappers to do that. Somebody was telling me that they've got guys turning them in via deer cameras, which is a great idea. I never thought of that.
If you want to get your county open, you see a bobcat, you want the DNR know.
Yeah.
Turn it into Vince. All you do is look up on the DNR website and it'll have Vince's name in it. Turn a picture over to him. He's our biologist. He's the one fighting for our rights.
Right. One of the other things too, when I try to do this, I don't know if you noticed, center of that pan is not up tight. A lot of guys like to set their pan, you know, 6 inches away, or even some guys 9 inch. I'm trying to be back a foot or a little better. I don't care how far it is, just at least a foot, even 12, 14, 15 inches. Reason being, the last year I trapped coyotes, which was 2 years ago. I went back to school, so I've really lost a lot of my free time. But the last year I trapped coyotes, I didn't catch 1 coon. That's a goal for me. I don't want to catch coons.
In Iowa, that's tough.
And the year before, I think I caught right at 30 coyotes, and I think I had maybe a couple, 2-3 raccoons. Was it. And that's just, all I do is just trap the 3 weeks of November that they allow you to do. But this thing, like I said, it's in my area. It works fantastic. I mean, when I get done, I would have just probably a little more grass around the outside. But just, you get rid of anything that doesn't look right. And after weather hits that for a day, you know, yeah.
What about roommates?
You can do the same thing if they don't tear the clump up. If not, just move it. You can put it right back in. You might have to get a little more creative packing your dirt in. So one of the things, this was interesting to me. Most of you guys up here for that Bobcat demo just a little while ago. He was talking about skunk essence, right? One of the things I noticed a long time ago, and he was even saying it, if you have a can that's got a good, solid, strong skunk essence, like I've used, gosh, what's that one that Jeff Dunlap makes? Soul Taker? Soul Taker.
Oh, Soul Taker?
Soul Taker for a bait, yeah. I like to open up a brand new can of that at the end of every season. Because in the next season I open it up, and we're trapping in 60, 70 degree weather like this.
It's mild.
It is. It's there, but it's mild. It's much more mild. You just open, let it open a little bit. Screw the cap back on, not super tight. In the fall, that skunk essence it's not burned off, but it has certainly tamed itself down to where what's needed. You put hot in there, that's going to be difficult.
Dark nose will smell way better than ours.
Right.
Don't know what's there.
Yeah, and so that's the other thing I was surprised too. I was waiting for him to say something, and I should have mentioned it too. A lot of people underestimate the nose on a bobcat. And man, I think bobcats can smell just as good as about anything else.
Dean's demo, he talked about that.
Did he? Yeah, I wasn't here in time, but yeah. So I mean, this thing here is killer for bobcats. We caught several of them on this over the course of time. I had the last year I trapped. I still trap beavers every year to help farmers out, but coyotes when I have time. Like I said, I got 2 more years of school, unfortunately. But what was I going with that? Sorry, brain went dead for a minute. That happens. Old. What was I talking about?
You're talking about 2 years ago when you were.
Oh yeah, I had about 7-8 days. I ended up catching 8 coyotes and 3 bobcats, and I caught 3 of those bobcats in 2 days. And you were asking about the remake? One of those is the remake.
Sean said something about putting a drag on it. Up here, he can put a drag on it.
You bet.
Our country, I couldn't put a drag on it.
Yep. No, you know what I've started using my drag for that I have now that all the farmers have taken all that out and they clean out timber and everything like that? My drags go on my big conibears for beaver. So all I do is put them into the ground, the chain goes down in there, and she pulls out snapping turtles with it. Perfect.
Yeah, Sean, you'd be fine for a drag on something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Not in our country.
Yeah.
There ain't no trees.
Yep.
Can you make that a walkthrough by putting something out here?
Oh, you sure can. But like I said, I'm trying to make this so they don't even know it's there. They're trying to use their nose to find where they're going. You could certainly try that. I mean, like I said, that dirt, I like to have that a little bit flatter than that.
More of a flat set.
Yeah, a little bit flatter than that. But like I said, this dirt's really sandy, so it's kind of difficult. We got down in there a little far. But usually it's a little bit flatter than that. But you could even cut a little of that dirt and then throw grass on it, just so that it's not that'll still work.
Are you throwing any? Well, the best part about it is there's nothing underneath there. No wax dirt, no coal shale, no peat moss, no.
I will attest to that. Let's see. This has been about 4 or 5 years ago. I was doing this, and I had a set that I never checked it. Well, I checked it, but I never drove up to it. If you know what I mean, I never drove up and really took a really good glance at it. It was one of these. I wasn't worried about it. There's something in it. And it was probably just before deer season. So I trapped the opener till just before shotgun season. Somewhere in those few days before shotgun season, I trap when I have time. And that thing sat, and I think we had about 3 or 4 days till shotgun season. I never touched it, never did a thing with it, and ended up with a coyote in it right before I pulled those traps. So I never touched that thing for over 3 weeks.
Don't you think though we overtouch them because we
Oh,
get
absolutely.
antsy? Man, I ain't caught nothing in 5 days here. Leave it alone.
You get a hard inch of rain on it.
Yep.
You make that. I mean, it's waterproof, but does that grass get all
Everything does.
matted down?
If it rained on this, all this would look different. That's the beauty of it. Even tomorrow if we came back and looked, I mean, you can see where I've fluffed this grass up and done this and done that. Tomorrow that'll look like it's been here for a week. Just Mother Nature does that for you.
Do you have any freezing problems with the freezing rain?
So if you're worried about freezing, once again, like I said, I borrowed this and just kind of accustomed it to myself from what Zyger does. If he does that, he gets his deal down in there. He just puts salt around the lips or the jaws of the trap, and that's it. That just keeps them moist enough, and that's all he does. I've really never had to do that much. I've done a little, but not much, because I only trap during November usually for coyotes.
I didn't see him do. He has anything below it?
Nothing.
There's
No,
nothing
matter of
there.
fact, there's a hole underneath that trap. Yeah, yeah. There's a hole down underneath there where if you were to get a half-inch or inch of rain, you know, that's going to go down and stay below that trap.
Would have been cool if that would have been set yesterday and we had all that rain last night to come in and look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just, like I said, that'll look altogether different tomorrow. You know, if you wanted to get fancy because you got leaves laying all around this thing, I have no problem with taking one of these and doing that. You know, whatever you want to do, just make it all look, make it all look.
That blends in here.
Yeah. So, and like I said, it's all nose. And when they might not be hungry, but boy, if they smell that, it's still going to get their brain going. You know, when you got 60-degree Novembers, like I'm sure we're going to have this year, the way we're going. You know, so it's been good to me. Like I said, I'm just a part-time guy. Like I said, all your pros have already been up here and done their thing, but this has really been something that has worked out very well for me. I don't know. You guys know where to get these? I don't even know.
Somebody had them yesterday.
Millers have them and Bear Creek both have them.
Okay. Yeah, they're just, they're made for your trap. And it'll say right on there when you get it brand new, that'll say number 3 Bridger. You know, I've got them for 550s too, but in the dirt that I have, like I say, I don't usually do a lot of dirt compacting with my hand. It's all done with that hammer. So I don't use the 550s, they're rounded. She likes the 550s because they're not so hard to set. But those 4 coil, number 3s, and they're great traps.
That too.
They are great traps.
The 550s?
Yes.
Oh, they're trash.
Oh, I think they're great.
I love my 550s.
Yeah.
That's just because he said
Yeah, yeah, crap.
And you know how this is. You guys figure out as you go what works for you, what you like. I started off with 1 3/4 friggin'. I had Victor's. That's what I started out with here 10 years ago. I had bought some used ones from the guy, and I'm like, no, I need something a little bigger. And I got to the point. I know guys like smaller traps, guys like bigger traps. I heard one time from Clint Locklear, he likes a big trap for one reason. It fatigues the coyote. He doesn't tear himself up near as much. He doesn't tear everything up so much. That's just so much more weight for him to try to, they can still move it around.
But yeah.
That's one of the things that he said, and I think, I like that idea. And people will ask you, oh, you're trapping, you're hurting that animal, you're breaking their legs. I come up there asleep when I pull in these things sometimes. So, oh yeah, very good. This guy's paying attention. It's another little trick. If you don't want to carry around those pipes, and you can also use these where there isn't grass. I'm glad you gave me that. Thank you. I've actually used these like on edges of bean fields and stuff like that, because you can kind of take this and do the same thing with a little bean duff, with a couple of sticks. I've even put sticks over the top of these. They're much easier to pull out of the ground than that gray thing is. I'm going to give you that right up front. But I take my T-driver just right there, because this is a piece of soaker hose. I got a piece along here. I brought it on purpose. My wife's old soaker hose, it broke. So I got a whole bunch of this stuff. You just cut that in 1 inch increments. I cut this, I think it's about 5 or 6 inch increments. It's 3/8 dowel rod, just like that. And just to show you, that dowel should go in there with no problem. Yep. You cut that off straight. And so that goes on the top, and there's a little hole. As you can see, I'll pass this around if you want. But there's a little hole on the top of that thing on purpose, because when you go out here and you go to put that in the ground, as you see, I'm going to put it right here, right? Oh, that's hard ground. I'm glad that ground wasn't that hard. Good enough, though, for what I need to do here.
Our tilled up fields with black dirt's a hell of a lot easier to work with.
Put that
No
down there.
kidding.
Now, you might think, oh yeah, it's going to be really easy. No, get your hammer back out, wherever I put it, in front of you. Get your hammer back out. Still going to be much easier to pull out. I'm not going to lie to you. I understand that. But he's going to step around 1 or 2 more times to pull that out of the ground now. It's a lot harder to pull out now than it was before. And that's what you want, feet on the ground. You want to move. That's why I don't care necessarily where the trap sits. Because a coyote trying to take that thing out when there's food value bait in there. I was talking to him earlier. I've had 3 baits that I've used this with. This is actually a lure, but it has some food value in it. It's Slim's Getter, as we were saying. Those guys sell it backwater baits. Unfortunately, you can't get the next 2 anymore. End of Day from Funky. That's been a fantastic bait. Any of you guys that make stuff want to buy that recipe and start making it again? Oh, I love that thing. And the other one is one that Marty Smith makes. It's called Red Eye. It's an old horse meat bait, I think. And I bought the last gallon and a half he had. Not making it anymore. But just a good food grade lure. Do you want urine on there? Are there deer around? That's my question. You can urine it if you're in the middle of a farm field somewhere and more than likely not gonna have deer around. Throw a little light in there, I don't care. If I'm on the edge, like if I was hunting or trapping here and I know deer are gonna be coming through here, I am not touching putting urine on that thing. Not in here. Maybe a little gland lure. You can throw a little gland. And one of the things you said earlier, a good caster lure.
Yeah.
I'll just drop a little chunk of caster right down at the base of that pipe. It doesn't have to go in it. Just at the base of that pipe. That just gets him one more thing to smell. So, and you can get a lot out of a stick of that gray PVC, by the way. I've never broken 1 pound in it like that either.
But you'll break the white.
That's what I've been told. Well, then see the white breaks down too.
Yeah.
You know, from sunlight. So I've been told that does break, and I've been told that can splinter and right back up in your face. So super simple stuff. I mean, like I said, this one works great if that clump of grass wasn't there, and you know, if you had a rock or two, you can even, if you got a rock that's got a little bit of a spot up underneath it, you know, just kind of
open that?
put that right in there. What's that?
Did you just open that jar? I smell it like crazy.
Nope. Oh, that's it.
It's just that good.
Yeah. There's a little. I mean, you can smell a little bit on the end. That's all you can smell is the skunk.
No, I
part
just
of it.
got a whiff of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
you
no,
brought
I know what
you brought the other one.
Yeah. That's in a bag yet, but here, I'll pull this out real quick. I usually keep a bucket of these, by the way. Come on. Cheap pliers are never good. Where you're at. I'm even having trouble finding it now. There it is. But that'll. That's what you smell.
Ooh, that about knocked my socks.
That's 2 years old. Remember he was talking about that lure today that's on there? That's 2 years old. I didn't put one of them in the ground last year because of school.
Yeah, the plastic absorbs flavor.
Boy, it's,
Yeah, and like I said too, if it rains on there or snows on there, snow's great, whatever, that's awesome. If it rains in there, these things got a lot of oils and different things in there, that's all still gonna smell. It's not gonna go away, it's down inside there.
Sounds like Iowa River.
And that's why it's probably got getter in it.
This smells like Iowa River.
You say you put that 12 inches back?
Oh, at least. And here's another reason why I do that.
Will you catch bobcat with 12 inches back?
Absolutely. Anything that wants to get that out of there with his mouth is gonna pounce around like crazy. He's gonna have to try to pull that out.
Back foot catch, mate?
But
Basically?
never. I've had one coyote back foot catch, and I think he was going to pee on it. But I do back foot catch raccoons, and that's another reason why I do that. If I'm somewhere where I can catch raccoons, do you want to catch a number 3 coon on the front foot with a, with an offset trap or offset jaw? No. So if I do catch them, it's going to be a back foot catch. They'll still be there. They won't be tore up and broke up, And I aim not to because I don't do a lot of cornfield stuff. Do a lot of beans and a lot of grass. And the grass is what I spend a lot of time with this.
Can you put that in the middle of a bean field row and put one on each side?
Probably could. That would be good for those.
Okay.
You're grabbing die sticks.
Yeah, the grab and die ones, yeah. Yep.
Do you think a female marks her territory the same as a male? Somebody asked that.
No, because one lifts her leg and one doesn't.
That's right.
One stop, one lift.
I'm not trying to be smart. That's my thought process.
True.
My dad had a female dog lift her leg.
Yeah. Well, true, but I mean for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays we just don't know what they are. They're transgender.
I don't think that rolls over to canine.
If you paid attention yesterday to Tim Anderson's demo down there where he had JC lifted her leg twice down there and peed, and she's female.
She hang around male dogs though, probably.
No, she
don't
hang around nobody.
Really?
That's it.
No, and it could very well be, but I mean,
That dog wanted to take my dog out.
yeah.
And it didn't like no, but yeah, my dad had a female dog that lift her leg every time she went to the bathroom.
Yep.
I've seen a lot about this set online, but I've never actually seen one. It's kind of.
You get much grass up there?
Well, I'm the same as you. I'm trapping a lot of buffer
Waterways?
strips and waterways.
You'll love
and
that.
stuff like that.
Just look for that blob that stands out. You know what I mean? Just look for that
So
blob, and
can
then
you transplant a clump of grass?
you could probably dig something out. But once again, you're changing the environment. Those guys know their environment pretty well. A coyote knows its environment very well. And
'Cause I'm doing a lot of lanes.
yeah, I would sure
And-
think so.
Sometimes it's only that tall all the way through there, you know? Sometimes it's not.
Let that dog find them for you. That dog will find that clump for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Dog will find a lot of times they'll find where something's peed there for you too. I
I
mean,
got
you
a
can,
female German short hair. She goes to every clump. She knows right where they're at.
the reason, like I said, I jumped on this was two things. That year that it was really warm, and I couldn't catch a coyote to save my life. I caught 2 coyotes in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and it was 60, 70 degrees. You know, and like this just isn't working, and so I had to figure something else out. Studied this a little bit, made my own, changes for up there. The other thing, when I get in the groove, that's quick. That is super quick. You know, if you want a gang set in there, you can get 4 sets in. If you got somebody else with you, you can be in and out of there in 20 minutes.
I don't see a packet of drill or drill bits.
I do.
buckets of dirt.
I do if I make a hole. But, yeah, but like I said, it's just one of those things. I want to get away from that dirt.
Yep.
I can't make wax dirt. I'm dumb. I'll be the first to admit I can't make it. I tried. It clumps up. It does everything it's not supposed to. I can't do it.
Have her make it for you.
No, this
I had the
works.
same
This
problem with the
works.
coal shop.
Yeah.
Fixed it all.
Yeah. Well, I
That's I like that.
just let it do itself. Because like I said, it's gone through weather, and if you're worried about so for example, snow. If it's going to snow, I don't care. It's probably not going to freeze. Obviously, we all know it insulates the ground. If you're going to get freezing rain or something like that, yeah, you might want to think about figuring out some kind of a antifreeze. But I've not had any trouble with it at all. Like I said, one sat for 3.5 weeks and it fired. Just
If you're worried about frost or freezing, like you said, you go around the jaws because the way you beat the dirt in there around the jaws to stabilize it, when that freezes, it freezes to the outside of the jaws. That would be, and you said sprinkled salt around the outside edge.
well, and that fork oil's got a lot to break it. It
Yes.
will. I've never even really caught high in the toes on coyotes. Whenever they step in that thing,
They're in there.
it's they're going way down. Even if I've got it down below the ground like that, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because every now and then, when you got bad dirt, that happens. When you got harder dirt, you get some of this farm dirt up where I'm from, perfect. You cut that out, it comes out with it. Matter of fact, you got to beat it out of the dang thing,
Right.
But yeah, it's just it's been and that's why I say I'm just a part timer. I'm no pro. It's just something that has worked very well for me. It's very quick, and
Don't let him fool you. I follow him on Facebook. He catches more coyotes.
Exactly. I was waiting to the end. I was like, don't let him fool you. He catches a lot of coyotes.
Yeah.
I wish I had the time to devote to it, but I don't like right now. So.
The only thing that makes you pro is getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
Don't make it any worse than anybody else.
Well, I do it for hobby and for fun. That's what it is. A lot of guys do it used to do it for income. Now you can't. Now you just go broke with it. Hey, you made me bend my. That's hard ground. Look what you did to my driver. And I was only pushing on it.
Yeah, it is hard.
There's hard ground down here. That was too soft there. That's really sandy up there, but it's nice. Maybe this has been driven over a lot or something. I don't know.
I don't know, when Tim went to dig a hole yesterday, he hit the ground and was like, oh.
Yeah, well, you were talking about lanes.
Yeah.
Oh, I've tried that, and especially if you got people that drive down there. Where are they going to drive? They're not going to drive down the tracks anymore. I had so many traps driven over that way. I'm glad you don't. I'm glad it works for you. But up home, they get up off there and they drive right where your trap's at. Mm-hmm. That's what they do at home on ours. So
Well, the lanes I trap is usually the guy that owns the property and a couple of his bow hunters and the guy that rents the pasture for his cattle, and they all know I'm trapping them.
Oh, good.
And I stay away from bow hunters, and Edby knows where my traps are usually at.
I got a lot, and I'll tell you another thing I like about this. You guys ever have trouble pheasant hunters?
No,
You go
Dogs.
into
don't
somewhere.
have pheasants.
Dogs.
You go in somewhere, and if you got guys, so I trap. I got a seed corn place up by where I'm at, and I do a lot of beaver trapping. Oh, that's something I was going to mention to you. How many guys have trouble getting coyote hunting land or trapping land? Anybody? You have trouble getting permission? This is the best group of people I've ever been with. And you don't have issues. But if you do, and you need to get more ground, because I talk to a lot of guys that, how do you get so much ground? Trap beavers. You trap beavers. Matter of fact, that'll get you places to deer hunt. It'll get you places to do whatever it is you want. Cut wood. It'll get you places for everything. If you talk to farmers, matter of fact, I've had 6 farmers call me this fall already. We're trying to figure out how we're going to have time to do them all, but we're going to get it done.
Just have her do it.
She's gonna.
Yeah.
She works full time now too. She
Yeah.
graduated this summer, so
Yeah.
it's full time for her too now. So yeah, no, it's that just I wanted to just say that is pick up. I know it takes your time if you want a coyote trap or bobcat trap, you know, or whatever it is that you want to do. Spend a little time catching some beavers for a farmer, and my goodness, they'll usually.
I found within the last few years, coon trapping will get you there too.
Probably around silage, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, around silage. The guys, we got a couple guys. She traps a lot of silage stuff when she has time. So.
They're over the coons and they're over the beavers, and they want them out of there.
Yep, they're all eating corn.
You guys got a lot more beaver down your way too, though.
It seems like we get quite a bit. The guy that owns the seed company down there, he loves ponds, and they get infected.
Is that Garth Pond?
No, it's Stein.
So, okay.
So he happens to be the richest Iowan. Good friend to have.
Yeah. Definitely. Even if you don't get a trap, he's like,
I never get to talk to him. It's
you
always
got
the
any
farm
sons
manager.
about
But
that age?
Oh.
it's always the farm manager. But he talks to the farm manager and says, "Hey, get a hold of that guy." Okay.
Right.
I was joking earlier about that. I know this is not a coyote thing, but this spring we had a deal where they had $1 million worth of equipment sitting down there at a great big crossing. It had 3 tiles tubes going through it about that wide, and every night those guys would be in there with $1 million equipment, pull it out. Every night they'd come back in, fill it back in, and finally got a call from the farm manager. He goes, "I need you out here ASAP." They were tiling and they had to get that taken care of. So we went out, and sure enough, she and my brother, we set 4 traps. Next morning we had 3 beavers that were between 40 and 50 pounds. We took a video of it right next to $1 million worth of equipment. There you go.
It's cheaper using you.
Yeah.
So and that gets me deer hunting, it gets me coyote trapping, it gets me whatever basically we need to do on the ground. Any other questions? Like I said, I'm not a pro, but if I can help out, I'd be happy to.
Any questions?
No, this is good. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you guys.
We're rolling away.